Hello and welcome to your healing ritual for this beautiful full moon in Cancer that will be taking place on January 6th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Melissa. I'm an energy witch, a transformation coach, and master energy healer. So no matter what space and time you are listening to this from, whether you are here before the full moon hits its peak or afterwards, just know that the healing will arrive to you in the perfect way that you need it right now. That is my intention for this ritual. And today, the focus of this ritual will be connecting with our heart spaces, understanding what we truly need and what we truly want, and ultimately what's important to us, what our priorities are, and how we can honor them in the best ways possible. So I'm very excited for that. And I do want to remind you that you can either simply listen and get all of the guidance that you need to get just listening and not necessarily participating fully with all of the tools and bits and bobs. But if you do want to participate, amazing. You will need a journal and pen, a candle and a lighter. If you want to have a little beverage, if you want to have whatever extra spiritual tools that you like to use, definitely get those and prepare that and set up a little space. You can make a little altar space. You can go as extra as you want with whatever spiritual tools and ambiance you want to create, or you can go the lazy witch way and just put this on, lie down, and let it all wash over you. We are lazy witch friendly here, okay? So no judgment whatsoever. Do whatever you need to do. This is going to be a very soothing, a very nurturing practice, and I'm excited to get into it. As usual, I use advanced energy healing techniques that allow for you to receive energy healing in all directions of space and time. So just make sure right now that you are open to that you give me permission to send you powerful Reiki energy healing throughout this healing ritual so that we can already begin the flow. It has already begun. So let yourself open up and receive. And something else that I do want to let you know is that I have created a 2023 energy alignment workbook. It's chock full of journal prompts, and you can grab it via the link in the description. And you don't necessarily need to fill it all out now and answer all of the journal prompts now. They can be part of your ritual afterwards if you want to include some deeper introspection and some journaling after the ritual. But I really do recommend checking it out, maybe printing it out or having it on your computer desktop and working through the journal prompts throughout the rest of this month. We are in a Mercury retrograde up until January 18th. So it's a really good time for deeper reflection, some journaling, and some soul searching to just reconnect with what's really important to you and what your priorities are, which is just going to be an extension of what we're going to be doing here today in the ritual. So check out the link in the description and download that as soon as you can. If you want to do it now, you can do it now to just flip through it, or when we're done, I'll remind you once again to check that out. Now, let's have a quick little astro chat, shall we? Yes. Okay, so it's the Cancer full moon, okay? The moon is at home in Cancer, okay? The moon rules Cancer, okay? So this is a very nourishing, delicious time, okay? If you are not a water sign, if you are not a Cancer like me, it might be an emotionally intense time, right? Water signs equals emotions, okay? So it's a time of heightened emotions anyway when there's a full moon, but whenever it's a full moon in a water sign, it can be overwhelming to those that aren't used to that energy. So have patience with yourself. Expect that it may be a more emotionally trying time, but it's ultimately for your greatest good, right? Because the full moon, obviously it's full, it's the brightest that it's going to be that month. So it illuminates that which needs to be illuminated, that which needs to be brought into the light so you can live in greater alignment. Another big theme of full moons is that you want to have balance, right? Because the sun and the moon are in opposite signs, okay? So 6 signs away. So the moon right now is in Cancer, but the sun is in Capricorn, okay? And that is what's called in astrology an axis, right? So every opposite sign is on an axis, right? And we want to bring balance between these two things, right? So Cancer represents the mother, family, love, relationships, that kind of stuff. Whereas Capricorn represents more, it's an earth sign, it's more the tangible world, the material world. And often, and I also think of it this way, is that Cancer is the mother of the zodiac and Capricorn is the daddy. So really trying to find that balance between the provider and physical manifestations and work and career and productivity and structure and getting things done versus that feminine energy, that soothing, that nurturing, that time with family, that filling your cup vibe. Okay, so you wanna make sure there's balance there. But the fact that it is sort of, the mother and the father of the zodiac, it could be that some childhood patterns and issues and trauma may be coming up for healing, right? Patterns from childhood are going to be much easier to identify and also shift right now. So that is the work, okay? Inner child work is going to be huge right now. It's going to be really, really powerful to do. You can, clear away and reprogram some really deep patterns. So it's just generally a time of slowing down, deep reflecting, and the fact that we are in Mercury retrograde helps that as well, right? Mercury retrograde gets a super bad rep for being chaotic, but it actually isn't, right? It's a time to slow down, to reflect, to reassess, to make sure that we are moving in alignment with our greatest desires, to make sure that we are communicating in the most effective way. If maybe we're being too aggressive, or maybe we're not speaking up as much as we should be, or maybe there are things that we want to say that we've been holding back because maybe we just haven't had a chance to reflect enough on a way to deliver that message to whoever needs to hear it in a way that will be empowering for both people. Maybe you are being alerted to boundaries that you need to set, boundaries that you need to maintain, right? So I think it's a beautiful time. And I think to start the year in Mercury retrograde really helps us slow down and decide what direction we're launching ourselves in before launching into action. Okay, now's the time for reflection. Now's the time for that soul searching. And that's what we're going to do today as well. So we are going to zero in on our desires and our priorities and what's really important, and why do we want the things that we want, and why do we want to be the things that we want to be and do, and really understanding more deeply what's in the way. Okay, so again, that's going to be probably childhood stuff, parent stuff, mommy issues, daddy issues, that kind of thing are going to be coming up right now. Okay, and things may already be naturally coming up for you, right? Like whenever someone will approach me for healing certain patterns and stuff like that, sometimes we're very aware like what's coming up, but I'm always going to say that life will naturally and organically bring to you situations that will help you heal deeper issues, okay? Naturally. So, for example, the holidays just passed. Maybe you had some family drama, so chosen family or family. So you may have been alerted to like some imbalances there, maybe some ways you could have communicated better, or maybe set boundaries in a different way, or done things in a different way. And maybe you've reconnected with some people and noticed the ways in which things no longer jive for you, or things no longer work for you in that dynamic, right? So I'll give you an example as to how issues like these just organically come up, and it doesn't have to be such a novel experience. It doesn't have to be like a crazy blowout. It doesn't need to be something so intense. There will be subtle signs, right? And it's ultimately good to have conflict every now and then, because it really does point you to where you either need new boundaries or a new way of doing things or a new way of seeing things, where a new perspective is needed, right? So like I said, I'll give you an example of something like fairly subtle in my life, but that just gave me a lot of really good stuff to work with for this phase, right? Because a lot of us are distracted, right? Just going through the motions. So it can be difficult to really catch those subtle signs. Or it could be that maybe you do catch those subtle signs, but you're like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to deal with it. You want to ignore the discomfort, which is a very natural human response, right? But here we have a safe space and we have the time, and we are taking just these few moments to acknowledge that discomfort. And just taking those few moments to acknowledge that discomfort will save you a boatload of grief and discomfort in the future, I promise you. So bear with me, okay? I'll give you an example and maybe it'll jog some things for you. Maybe you already know what has been brought up for you organically, right? So two things for me have been happening simultaneously in terms of the themes for this particular full moon. And it's something that's been building over the last couple of weeks, which makes sense, right? Because we had the new moon in Capricorn. It was the beginning of a new phase. And then these themes have sort of been building momentum up until the full moon, okay? So even just thinking what's been going on in the last couple of weeks with the holidays and everything, right? So number one is I've been rewatching Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movies with Marco, and having just mega flashbacks to my heavy Harry Potter phase, which were about ages like 12 to 16, where I was like, borderline obsessed with Harry Potter. Obviously, I was a witch. I am a witch. And I was like, oh my God, magic is real. Anyways, and I'm noticing new things about the beliefs that I formed during that phase of like 12 to 16 and the patterns that I had going on at the time and how some of those wonky patterns are still playing out, okay? So it's just been really interesting to kind of like return back to like my teen brain and be like, ooh, okay, no, those are beliefs that aren't in alignment with the way that I want to see the world. Okay. Then number two is that I had a situation with some friends a few days ago. And then when I was talking about it with Marco afterwards, I was like, wow, this is that same old shit coming up to be healed, right? Very much linked to those beliefs as well. And I realized that I definitely have this fear that pops up every now and then. Listen, I'm a recovering people pleaser, and I definitely have this fear of telling people things that they don't want to hear. And I guess we all have that fear, right? And of course, it's very much tied to people pleasing and all of that bullshit, right? But now I have like a deeper level of awareness of it. And I can see the situations in my life in which that sort of crops back up so that I can create a game plan for the next times that stuff comes up, right? So I was able to already take action in a way that is aligned with how I want to be versus like the old busted way. And now I have a plan for how to deal with those things moving forward, okay? So that's ultimately something that I hope that you can work through this ritual and beyond, and with the journal prompts in the alignment workshop and workbook rather. That's just a major Cancer vibe, right? Emotional healing, family, and especially like mom issues, and turning into becoming more of a leader of yourself, and therefore becoming more of a leader to the people around you, and being brave and standing up for what's right and initiating change and protecting what you care about, protecting your priorities, and nurturing yourself and others, which definitely should be a priority as well, right? And then on the flip side, there's the Capricorn energy, right? That's daddy, provider, material world, work and career, and that kind of stuff, right? So again, whenever there's a full moon, it's about finding balance between those two energies. So something you might want to ask yourself to sort of, jog this even a little bit more is, how's your work-life balance? Are you a little workaholic? I see you, okay? And ask yourself, like, let's say you have been overworking, right? Is it because you're looking for that distraction from an uncomfortable emotional life or home life, right? Or is it because you're like hustling to make money because of XYZ, right? And being really honest with yourself about it and about your needs and your priorities, right? Maybe it is a hustle phase, right? But make sure that you're taking care of yourself through it, because it's just not sustainable to just hustle all the time, right? And then how present have you been with your loved ones, right? Your family, your chosen family, your partner, your friends. How present have you actually been, right? I feel like that's a really good question. Post-holidays, like we've seen everyone, what's the takeaway from those interactions, right? And then, even just, Capricorn questions of like, is your career in alignment with where you want to go? And are there some shifts that you can make, right? And where do you need to set more boundaries, right? Is it with work? Is it with being like, look, these are my hours. this is my schedule and I'm not going beyond that? Or do you need to set boundaries with your family and being like, listen, I'm starting a business. I'm only available this day to be doing something or whatever. And same thing goes with your friends. Like, are there boundaries there that need to be shifted? And then lastly, do you need to shift some things in order to bring more peace and ease and in order to honor your true priorities? Do you need to shift your routines and your habits? Do you need to shift some responsibilities, like clear your schedule, simplify your schedule, simplify your systems so that you can have more time to take care of yourself, to be present with your loved ones, to give the amount of time that you need to your career, your business, your job, right? So start thinking about these things. But speaking of shifts, I'm teaching my exact processes and personalized systems to my clients in my newly revamped one-on-one program. It's a 5-month program, but it's like a low time commitment, right? So we only have calls every 2 weeks and it's a 1-hour call. So it's 2 hours a month. Everyone's got 2 hours a month for personal development, personal growth. And I'm really obsessed with the results that my clients are getting. The people that are coming out of these programs have done a 360 and it's just so humbling to me and it's just awe-inspiring and I'm just in pure admiration of them. But it's also a testament to how well the program works, right? We do profound energy healing and clearing and all that kind of stuff, but we also work on mindset, obviously belief reprogram. So we do EFT tapping and we do targeted hypnotherapy for subconscious reprogramming. So that really does guarantee that major up level in mindset and in lifestyle right out of the gate. And then we continue to work through things as they come up over a longer period of time so that we can really work through all of the eventualities and I can impart all of my tools and all of my practices and techniques so that you don't need me anymore. Like my whole thing with the work that I do is that I want to be able to teach you things and give you all of my shortcuts so that not only do you save time and money by investing in this, but then you don't need me and you can just replicate these systems forever and ever and you can just continue to up level at the pace that feels good to you, right? Obviously, doing the 5-month program, you're going to have massive growth in that period of time, but you don't need to be massively growing all the time, right? If you feel like you're ready for a period of up level of massive growth, then this is the program for you, right? We also use astrology and human design. Like it's very personalized and tailored to you. There's advanced coaching methods, right? I'm certified in neuro-linguistic programming. So we really do a lot of work cognitively, but we do a lot of work physically as well and energetically and spiritually and all of that magic stuff. I opened 2 spots to begin this month. One has already been taken, but you can book a quick consultation or you can apply directly via the link in the description. So the last spot will probably be going pretty quickly. So if this is resonating with you, if this is a journey you want to undertake, or even if you just want a little bit more information, like literally, I would love to just chat and hear your thoughts and see if it's a good match. Because ultimately, part of the application process is me seeing if you are in a space ready to undertake this kind of shift, and if we're a good fit and if we vibe. So if you have any questions about this program, you can even just comment directly under this video. I respond to every comment on these videos. I'm not that big on YouTube yet that I'm not responding to all the comments, so I can answer questions directly in the comments, or you can reach out to me on social media. The links again are in the description, or you can just apply directly and we can go from there and see if this is a right fit. We jump on like a quick 15-minute call just to like see what's up, see if the vibe is right, and then we get you onboarded and the first sessions start as soon as you're ready, right? So I'm very excited about that. I'm excited for the 2 people that are going to be starting this month and the people that are already in the program. It's probably one of my favorite ways to work with people. So again, if it resonates, hit me up. We'll get it going. And speaking of getting it going, it's time to start the ritual. So we are going to cast a circle, and to be very on brand with Harry Potter, I've got my Elder Wand here, meaning that I'm the most powerful witch in all the land. I mean, can anyone contest that? I don't think so. So you can just use the index finger of your dominant hand, or if you've got a wand, then use that, and you're gonna wanna draw a clockwise circle all around you, setting the intention to be protected in all directions of space and time. So let's get that done. And so it is. And then it's time to light your candle, okay? So let's take a moment to do that. Grab your candle, grab your lighter. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I literally have like a tea light from the dollar store, and it's literally almost done. I've got a beautiful flame going. I think it is important to take a look at if you've got a little flame, if you've got a big powerful one, if it's dancing around, if it's staying still. So take a moment to connect with that flame. Set the intention to begin the ritual as you've lit it, and then place the candle far enough away that you won't accidentally blow it out as we're doing some deep breathing. So get yourself nice and settled. And you can either close your eyes if that feels good to you, or you can just soften your gaze, whichever one feels best to you right now. And let's take a moment to connect deeply with ourselves, to go inward. And even just feel the Cancer full moon shining brightly overhead. And watch as a channel of lunar energy comes down to cascade over you and through you. With this lunar energy is also life force energy, also known as reiki. So set the intention now to open up to this healing and allow it to go where you need it most. Meanwhile, we will begin breathing slowly and mindfully to help us go inward. So breathing fully out to get all of that stale air and energy out. So breathing fully out till nothing's left, and then slowly back in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that breath for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold again for 3, 2, 1. And back in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Back out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. If this feels good to you, you can continue to breathe this way. In for 6, hold for 4, out for 8, and holding for 4 again. But when you breathe this way, you really do ensure that you fully activate your parasympathetic nervous system. But you can also breathe at a pace that feels good to you. So decide that now and breathe deeply, relaxing more and more with every breath out. And let us take a moment now to ground our energy, feeling our root chakra activate, a glowing red orb at the base of your spine, spinning clockwise. And see as roots sprout from it, wrapping around your pelvis, rushing down your legs, wrapping around your ankles, and emerging from the soles of your feet to course rapidly and deeply down to the core of the earth, tethering you fully in Gaia Mother Earth energy, balancing your energy and your emotions. And now you can call up a channel of energizing, nurturing earth energy up through your body and infinitely up into the cosmos. Feel these 2 channels of energy now, balancing your energy further. Breathing slowly and deeply still, I now invite you to visualize your breath passing physically through your heart on the way in, inhaling in through the heart, and physically passing the breath through the heart on the way out, exhaling out through the heart. This activates your heart space and brings your mind in coherence with your heart so that you can see and think clearly. So breathing in through the heart and ever so slowly out through the heart. So continue this visualization as I begin to do some deeper healing on this heart space. Many times we put up walls here as a response to pain and trauma. However, these walls don't protect us the way that we intend, okay? And while they may have served a purpose once and helped us feel momentarily a little bit more safe, they have also kept out the good. So trust that I will place a more powerful and more flexible protection over your tender heart, one which will allow in only that which serves your highest good, and protecting your heart from all that does not. But now is the time to let the walls that you built crumble and fall away. I will remove them, and I will pour a green healing salve to fill all the gaps and wounds here. So breathe through your heart. Feel this heart healing take place. I'm also pulling away all of the energetic cords to people and situations and places that you are ready to release. And trust that this transformation is for your highest good. And that the deeper you breathe, the deeper this healing can penetrate. So your heart center is also the home of your precious inner child. So now that we have cleared so much and brought in deep healing, it is safe for your inner child to step forward. See them standing before you, their innocent little face looking up at you. And now crouch down to their eye level and ask them what they need. What do you need, dear one? They may need to be heard, to be seen, to be truly understood and accepted for who they are. They may need love and affection, nurturing. They may need protection. They may need to be stood up for. Just listen and do your best to give them what they need. Well done. When that process feels complete, take a moment to cradle them in your arms and tell them that they are never alone. They are so loved and cared for, that all their needs and desires are taken care of, and that they are truly safe and protected from here on out. That you are in control now. You get to choose, and you get to decide now, and you only do what is for your highest and greatest good. Allow me now to pour more healing energy over them and over you, and place a protection over the both of you. And know that they are completely wrapped in infinite love. Feel the little one relax, fully soothed and nurtured. And let them run happily back into your heart center now. And feel your physical body reacting to this shift. And notice the tension leaving your body, the trauma once deeply embedded leaving your body. And I want you to notice now that whatever your inner child needed, you may be needing in some way in your current life. So reflect on how you may meet those needs, whether directly or by asking for help and support from loved ones. And trust that you are fully capable of meeting your own needs, and that you can trust yourself to give yourself all that you want and need. You are in control. And since you are in control, I invite you to really ponder now what your true priorities in life are. What is most important to you and why? So your well-being, your relationships, your career. And how is it that you want to move forward in honoring these priorities? So take a moment now to visualize your life as if you were fully aligned and honoring what is most important to you. And in the meanwhile, allow me to clear, balance, and activate your entire chakra system. So simply breathe deeply and visualize your most aligned, embodied life. Remember to connect emotionally with your vision now. What will it feel like? Let the emotions bubble up and name them. Joy, ease, relief, excitement, satisfaction. Feel it all wash over you now and place the vision in a glowing orb. Watch it rise up to this Cancer full moon and let Mama Moon look after the most magical unfolding of your desires, trusting that it will be for your greatest joy and ease and comfort. Grounding this vision into tangible reality now, let us receive guidance on our next steps. We are extra psychic under this full moon, so place a finger on your third eye between your brows and ask your guides what messages they have for you that will inform your next fully aligned steps. What simple shifts can you make? The answer will come, and maybe in a way that surprises you. Just know that you are guided and trust that guidance. Don't second guess it. As we work with our intuition, it can feel odd to follow those impulses, and you may doubt it in the beginning. Your work is simply to trust it and take action on the guidance. So let it come to you and trust it when it does. And now let us give thanks for this and all that is. Thank yourself for being here. Bringing subtle movement now to your fingers and your toes. Making it bigger now. Your hands and your feet. You might want to sway side to side. Give yourself a big hug. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes and come back to waking life. Hello, welcome back. So you might want to continue the ritual and jot down the insights that you've gained, write down your next steps, do a little extra journaling. Maybe you want to pull some cards for some guidance moving forward. You might want to seal the practice with some gentle movement, some stretching, some yoga, going for a walk, a little dance party, whatever feels good to you. Just trust that the healing energy will be continuously flowing to you until you snuff out your candle. Okay, remember, don't blow out your candle, just pinch the wick or snuff it with a snuffer or, flick some water on there. You don't want to blow the candle out, but just know that when you do, that's when the ritual is concluded officially. And I really do hope that you enjoyed this ritual, that you feel at peace with yourself, that you've received the heart healing fully. Remember, there's also the 2023 energy alignment workbook that is linked in the description that has plenty of journal prompts to help you gain deeper clarity about your next moves for 2023. It'll help you set really powerful, aligned intentions for the year. And of course, If you've enjoyed this experience and you want to share a little bit about how you feel, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you've liked it and subscribe if you haven't already. But I do wish you just the absolute best for this full moon in Cancer. That may all of your manifestations unfold beautifully, and of course wishing you a lovely 2023 full of health and happiness and prosperity, and I will see you in the next one.